What's up, everybody? I'm Austin, and this is Phantom Fix. And I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video to watch our Daredevil Episode 3 review, and also to our subscribers who have continued to watch our videos, those who are new that find us, watching us post our favorite things on a weekly basis. So just appreciate you joining us. And today, Ty is not joining me for the Episode 3 review. He will be joining for later episodes, but I wanted to jump into Episode 3 today and just talk about what happened and kind of my thoughts on this. But I want to start off by saying, why is nobody watching this show? So it came out that the ratings for this show are incredibly low, lower than Agatha All Along, lower than The Acolyte, lower than Ahsoka, Loki. And, as much as I want to say, why are people not watching this show? Because it genuinely is a good show. It continues the Netflix show really well. This is one of the best Marvel projects in a long time. But sadly, Disney has lost the trust of people. And I think Marvel had a lot of burnout. A lot of people are tired of mediocre content, and it's hard to trust when you have that feeling. But for those who are unsure, I want to say, please watch this show. It's great, has great character development. It's intriguing. So on that note, let's jump into episode 3. So this episode really took place mainly in the courtroom. And it's funny that we're 3 episodes in and we really haven't had a lot of Matt Murdock in his costume. But this honestly doesn't bother me because this show is called Daredevil Born Again. My hunch is that this is really just leading to a finale of him kind of donning that mask again. And then the rest of the show, obviously he will be Daredevil again. But I really like this dynamic that we've been getting with Matt Murdock of him wrestling with coming back out into the streets as Daredevil. And his lawyer persona really is showing us that internalized nature. And this episode did that really well. So as Matt Murdock was defending White Tiger in the courtroom against killing that cop, this was a very interesting episode because it had the typical law drama that we're used to in other shows. But we got to see kind of the secret of him being White Tiger unfold as slowly and slowly Matt Murdock built up to that, to revealing that to the court, and him being pissed off that he's like, what the heck, that was my secret to reveal to people. But what I really liked here is that really this entire episode wasn't really about White Tiger, at least not in my opinion. This was all about Matt Murdock and what he's been doing, wrestling with the fact that I need to get back out there, but I don't really know if that's the right decision. And so by defending White Tiger here in court, he was able to see a man who knew what the right thing was to do every time he would go out there and don the mask and every time he would save somebody. And he was very adamant about that. He was like, I don't care about what they're saying about me. It was the right thing to do. And Matt knew that this man was of integrity, and that's why he was defending him. But he was kind of seeing himself in the midst of that as well. He was seeing this man reflect him of saying, I know my heart. I know I should be out there. I know that I'm truly Daredevil and I want to be saving the people of this city. But for whatever reason, because of the loss of Foggy, because of Karen, because of Kingpin being back out there, he's wrestling with this idea of, what am I actually supposed to do? What is my purpose after all this trauma I've experienced? And I think he was seeing that within White Tiger. So it was a cool reflection that we were getting as he was defending this man that he saw himself in. And on the flip side of this episode, we had Wilson Fisk, who didn't get a large part of this episode. It was mainly about Matt and White Tiger. But the parts we did get with Wilson, you could tell he's still he's also wrestling with this persona that he's trying to portray that's not really him. We talked about that in episode 1 and 2 discussion. And he's trying to be mayor. He's trying to be an outstanding gentleman. He's trying to build things with his wife again, but you can slowly tell that he's trying to figure out, well, how do I get back into controlling the crime unit, but also control the city? And he doesn't like the fact that White Tiger is being defended. He didn't like the fact at the end of the episode that White Tiger was not found guilty, because to him, he sees vigilantes as a problem, which in fact, he is the problem, because, he's the real criminal, but for whatever reason in his mind, he sees vigilantes as criminals that he has to bring to justice. And so, at the end of the episode, we get him talking to the reporter. He's trying to express, why is this man not found guilty? Why is this man out on the streets again? He's just going to go back out there. He's going to continue to do what he's doing. And that's what we saw at the end of the episode. We saw White Tiger get back out there. We saw that he was free. He puts on the suit. He puts on the amulet. He goes out. He hears some rustling, over in the alleyway, and he goes out. And then out of nowhere, a man steps out, shoots him in the head, and that's the end of the episode. And I got to say, guys, it's very sad to see this character not get a lot more screen time. They really built up to be kind of portraying the fact that he would get more screen time, but that's not what happened. He, unfortunately, they kind of just used him as a plot device to get Matt to where he needed to be. And I think that's where we're going to continue to go. And then obviously the tease at the end with the guy that shot White Tiger, he walked away and he was wearing a vest that had the Punisher skull on it. Now, the obvious, freak out would be like, oh, Frank Castle killed White Tiger. But just like a lot of what the internet's talking about, I don't think that's the case. They did tease with the corrupt cops in episode 2 that they had the skull tattoos on them. There's like that vigilante group that, is going out and doing their own justice and using the same symbol as Frank Castle. It's probably something to do with that group, or it's somebody else who has donned that same moniker. And I think Frank Castle is going to come in because of, his name being sullied, or Matt calls him to come in and help him figure out what's going on here. But I think this is really just going to start riots throughout the street, knowing that White Tiger died by a vigilante, by a criminal, and the city's just going to erupt. And this is what's going to bring Matt back as being Daredevil. This is what's going to bring Kingpin back to the crime world. And then we're just going to see everything explode and come to a head at the end of the season to move forward. So I would love to know what you guys think about this episode. It was a pretty quick episode. It was pretty centralized within the courtroom, but I think there was a lot of good character development there with Matt. And they, tugged on our heartstrings with White Tiger and him wanting to be back with his family. And we were wondering if he was going to be found guilty or not. But at the end of the day, obviously, we did have the tragic event at the end. So please let us know what you think in the comments about this episode. Do you think this show is great? What are you looking forward to the most? Please let us know your theories and your thoughts. But until next time, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video from us about Marvel, video games, Star Wars, all the different things out there in the fandom. And we will see you in the next video.